Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Before, I want to introduction about myself. My name is Lika Balkis. I want to teach you about grammar. And so, in the grammar, there are 12 tenses. In the tenses, so before and now, we're going to learn about simple present tense. But before we learn more about simple present tense, so purpose of learning simple present tense is to make it easy for you to say a sentence when you are doing what is happening right now in speaking. So, I'm going to teach you about simple present tense. Actually, not to talk about simple present tense, but about the using simple present tense in your speaking. So, I have question for you. I have one question for you. What is the simple present tense? What is the definition about simple present tense? Please give me your opinion about simple present tense. I think you know about simple present tense in your friend, in your teacher, but so maybe you're reading a book in English about grammar. I think you must often listen to simple present tense. Yes. What is the simple present tense in your opinion? Yes? Yes, almost right. But you can almost right. But you can see here. So you can see here the whiteboard. Before I want to explain about simple present tense, and I have written explanation simple present tense in this here. So they are the word simple and present. Simple is like simple. Present is like a time or explanation, a time about time. Sim, simple present tense. So definition about simple present tense is simple present tense is a simple sentence because there is a simple word that we say in the time now. This maybe something like this now, this morning, today, this year, and that's important. This is simple present tense, something like that. Okay, this time I want to explain to you about simple present tense. There are in the simple present tense there are function and formulation. In the function of simple present tense is the first general truth, the second is habitual action. Habitual action. What is the general truth? Yes, general truth is the fact of something or explanation about a general fact. For example, the sun rises from the east to west. And on 1 year consists 12 months, and woman gives birth to a child. Yes, something like that. This in the general truth is the fact about something or yes, something like that. You can remember about general truth. Yes. The next habitual action. What is the habitual action? Habitual is the habit that we do every day. For example, you eat every day. You eat food every day. You drink of water, and yes, something like that. Another example. Yes, something like that. Okay. To explanation for you about simple present tense. In the formulation, yes, the first formulation simple present tense, there are positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. In the positive sentence, there are subject plus verb 1, additional s or es plus object. Subject is like I, you, we, they, she, he, it. To explanation for you about simple present tense. In the formulation, yes, the first formulation, simple present tense, there are positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. In the positive sentence, there are subject plus verb 1, additional s or es plus object. Subject is like I, you, we, they, she, he, it. And verb 1 is eat, write, listen, speak, fly, yes, something like that is verb 1 plus object. Yes, you understand? Yes, you can see in the example about simple present tense. You play gadget. You is subject, play is verb 1, gadget is object. Okay, are you understand? So another example is bird. Bird flies in the sky, or I read a book, or I go to school. Yes, this is example for the positive sentence in the simple present tense. Okay, next I want to explain to you about the negative sentence in simple present tense. There are subject plus don't or doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. Subject is I, you, we, they, she, he, it. Don't or doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. Verb 1 is eat, read, write, fly, drink, yeah, something like that, plus object. In the example for negative sentence in simple present tense is she doesn't love me. You can remember, she, he, it, use doesn't, I, you, we, they, use don't. And I want to remember about you in verb 1 in the positive sentence. If subject she, he, it, you must use s or es in the verb 1. For example, she plays badminton. She plays. Don't forget about s or es in the verb 1 if subject she, he, it. Okay? And another example about negative sentence in simple present tense is she doesn't love me, or I don't like you, so I don't eat now or anytime, or another example. Okay, so next I want to explain to you about interrogative in the simple present tense. Does, do or doesn't, you move in front of subject plus verb 1 plus object. Don't forget about that. Yes, about that. Now, for example, do you know him? Do you is positive sentence in interrogative sentence, but don't you is negative sentence in interrogative sentence. Okay, she, he, it, use doesn't, I, you, we, they, use don't. Don't forget about it. Okay, and verb 1 is eat, write, listen, speak, fly, yes, something like that is verb 1 plus object. Yes, you understand? Yes, you can see in the example about simple present tense. You play gadget. You is subject, play is verb 1, gadget is object. Okay, are you understand? So another example sentence in the simple present tense. Okay, next. Next, I want to explain to you about the negative sentence in simple present tense. They are subject plus don't or doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. Subject is I, you, we, they, she, he, it. Don't or doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. Verb 1 is eat, read, write, fly, drink, yeah, something like that, plus object. In the example, for negative sentence in simple present tense is she doesn't love me. You can remember, she, he, it use doesn't, I, you, we, they use don't. And I want to remember about you in verb 1 in the positive sentence. If subject she, he, it, you must use s or es in the verb 1. For example, she plays badminton. She plays. Don't forget about s or es in the verb 1 if subject she, he, it. Okay? And another example about negative sentence in simple present tense is she doesn't love me, or I don't like you, so I don't eat now or anytime, or another example. Okay. So next, I want to explain to you about interrogative in the simple present tense. Does, do or doesn't, you move in front of subject plus verb 1 plus object. Don't forget about that. Yes, about that. Now, for example, do you know him? Do you is positive sentence in interrogative sentence, but don't you is negative sentence in interrogative sentence. Okay, she, he, it use doesn't. I, you, we, they use don't forget about it. Okay. Okay, next I want to explain to you about additional s or es in the simple present tense to verb 1 for subject she, he, it. You must remember she, he, it use verb 1 as additional s or es in the back. So additional s or es used by she, he, it or noun in plus sentence. S or es is usually used for subject she, he, it. Noun is more from one in the sentence. And usually the additional s or es will be added if the verb ends in the following letter. The letter. Okay. The first in this is there are ss, hh, sh, ch, x, and o. For example, from the word ss is miss, kiss, discuss. Miss become misses, discuss become discusses, and kisses become kiss become kisses. For example sentence is she misses him. He kisses you in the cheek. He discusses about simple present tense. Yeah, something like that. It is a very simple in your remember about the formulation in simple present tense. Okay, next the word sh. The word sh is the example for the word sh is finish and wash. finish become finishes, wash become washes. For example, in the sentence is she washes plate. She finishes her work. Don't you remember? You must remember about your thing, your brain. Uh, Additional s or es used for subject she, he, it in the sentence simple present tense. Don't forget it. Okay. So the next word, ch. The example of the word is watch become washes. For the example in the sentence is she watches movie. He watches Harry Potter in the bioscope. Yes, something like that. Okay. Next, word x. X is fix became fixes and mix became mixes. For the example in the sentence is he fixes our relationship and she mixes fruit with water. That's something like that. So next, word o. Word o. Next, word o. Is the word go become goes and goes go become goes, do become does. She goes to school. She does love me in the sentence example in the sentence in subject in your subject she he. Okay. So if so, I want to explain to you about the consonant and vocal letter Y. If the letter Y is preceded by a consonant, the letter Y change to I plus es. Example is like study become studies. Why? Es because Y in the Y because Y studies, so studies. And next, cry became cries. And next, try became tries. Yeah, something like this. Very simple if you know formulation about that. Okay. So next, for the example in the sentence, he studies very hard. She tries in the rooftop. He tries answer the question. This is example about sentence in the bucket, something like that. Okay. Next, I want to explain to you about vocal plus Y plus X. And if the letter Y is preceded by a vocal, the letter Y plus S. For example is play, buy, and pray. And pray. Play become plays. Buy become buys. And praise become praise. For the example sentence, for example about the sentence, she plays a game. He buys a book. He prays a food. sorry, her foot, something like that. Are you understand about my explanation from simple present tense in definition, function, and formulation for the additional s or es in the subject she, he, it? Okay, I want to explain to you again for your remember about that in the simple present tense. Okay, I want to uh, remember again about that simple present tense, about my explanation before. Yes, simple present tense is the simple sentence because there is a simple word that we say in the time now, and in the simple present tense they are function. In the function they are general truth and habitual action. General truth uh, is is fact of something, but while habitual action is the activity in your life. Yes, something behavior, something like that. And formulation of simple present tense is there are plus sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. Negative sentence there are subject plus verb 1, additional s or es plus object. Negative sentence subject plus don't of doesn't plus verb 1 plus object. She, he, it, use don't, use doesn't, I, you, we, they, use don't forget about it, okay? So, interrogative sentence plus or negative sentence, do or does not plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. Yes, subject something like I, you, we, they, she, he, it. Verb 1, listen, reply, read, write, yes, something like that, plus object. Yes, as an additional s for es used by she, he, it for noun in plus sentence. In the s or es, the word ss, sh, ch, x, and o. For the consonant plus y plus e plus es, the vocal plus y plus s. For example is study became studies, cry became cries, try become tries, play become plays, buy become buys, pray become praise. So I think enough for today. I hope you understand very well about my explanation. If the wrong, I'm so sorry about my explanation. If wrong, yes, something like that. So yes, so I think enough for today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.